I'm really excited to announce our new ride shocks for the 22 Plus Tundra platform. These things are absolutely incredible, and watch this video so you can learn more. The first thing I'm going to show you on these ride shocks is going to be the materials of construction, and you're going to see how we have a bright red anodizing here. It's absolutely beautiful, and it shows off the super high quality machine work really well. The next thing is we have an aluminum shock body. It's also 6061 T6, and it does really well in the long run with corrosion resistance and looking good and keeping the shocks looking new and fresh. Moving down, we have a hard chrome piston rod, and the hard chrome really does a good job of providing some lubricity to the seals and not allowing dirt to stick to it, and also providing some corrosion resistance. Moving inside the shock, we have a fully synthetic oil, and that helps a lot with longevity, especially when you're getting high temps in your shocks. It also does a lot to resist shock fade, and it helps keep the seals happy. And then finally, talking about the seals, we have really high quality seals that are made to last a lifetime, and we've gone and backed that up with a high quality warranty. Shock absorbers are all about oil flow, and the way that you control the oil flow dictates how that shock feels when it's on the vehicle, when you're going over different types of bumps. And so the heart of the oil flow is your shock piston. So we've put a ton of effort into designing the best shock piston and making sure that it both flows a lot of oil and doesn't have any restrictions. And what you're gonna see is that all of our ports have 3D machine radiuses in them and are very smooth for the oil to flow nice and smoothly. That equals comfort on the road, especially on the chattery bumps and the washboard road. The smooth ports and the high flow really make a big difference. And so once you've got a really good piston like this, you have to turn your attention to where the next flow restriction is, which is in the hose. So our hoses are a -10, which really makes a difference when the shock has to move fast to keep it comfortable. And we didn't just stop there. That higher flow comes down into our adjuster, which also flows more oil, allowing for that comfort to proceed throughout the entire shock to deliver the best ride quality possible. One of the key features of ride shocks is our DPA adjuster. And so the nice thing about these is that they've got 12 clicks on each low speed and high speed. And 12 clicks means that each click makes a noticeable difference, but not too much. If you get a ton of clicks, you're just sitting there spinning forever. And we've really dialed in 12 clicks is a perfect amount, and you're gonna get a difference without too much. This adjuster works a little bit differently than a lot of the other adjusters on the market. We've patented it, and it's really the key to getting exactly what you want out of your suspension. And so it offers both a low speed and a high speed adjustment. And what's different is that it's a linear adjustment on both ends. And so a lot of other adjustments in the market, adjusters, have preloaded shims or preloaded spring, and you have to overcome that preload before the oil will start flowing. And so that creates kind of an uncomfortable sensation in the shock. And by having it linear and still being a very effective adjuster, we've really set ourselves apart from what else is on the market. When you're going off-road, if you've added some weight, you might want to do a little bit of low speed adjustment to keep it from bottoming out and being so bouncy. Likewise, if you're going off-road, you want to start driving more aggressively, you've aired down, you can start adding some more low speed adjustment to keep you from bottoming out or G'ing out so easily. And because they're linear, when you add some compression, it just makes the shock firmer. It doesn't make it harsh, it doesn't make it jarring, it just makes it firmer. And at some point, you might, hey, I've made it as firm as I want. Now you can switch over to the high-speed knob and make more kind of fine-tuning adjustments and find the right balance between low and high speed to get the shock doing exactly what you want. And that's really what sets us apart here, is the high and the low and being linear. And it just makes these shocks fantastic, so you can dial in exactly what you're looking for when you're going off-road or adding weight. And it's really at the heart of our Ride Shocks 2.5 DPA. So these shocks are for the 3rd gen Tundra, which is part of the new TNGA platform. It shares a lot of designs and components with the Tacoma and with the 4Runner and LC250 and GX550. And as part of that, Toyota's offering a lot more engine and drivetrain packages, including a hybrid and non-hybrid option. And what we found is that the hybrids are like 600 pounds heavier, which is a lot. And to do this right, you really need to have different shocks, different springs, different tuning for the hybrid and non-hybrid options. And that's what you'll find with ride shocks. And we'll dive into here in a little bit the different weight range options that we offer so that we can get you the right shock for your truck. Let's talk for a minute just about the front coilovers here. So these are 2.5-inch lift, and that will accommodate for a variety of weights. And speaking of weight, we have 2 weight ranges. So the first weight range is really made for stock weight non-hybrid, it will accept a little bit amount of added weight to it. And then our second weight range was tailored to the hybrid drivetrains that do weigh quite a bit more in the front. And then those will also accommodate a non-hybrid with added weight. The other thing we've done is we're using premium FK bearings. So really high quality, very durable, gonna last a long time. And then we've also gone and made sure that our extended lengths are just right. It's possible to make these things extend too far and you start having problems with your steering stops and other stuff like that. So it's a very mature, responsible design that's gonna hold up for a long time, that's gonna be durable. It's not gonna wear out your upper control arm or your lower control arm, things like that by traveling too far. I will note though, these do require an upper control arm. If you're putting a set of these on, you can technically get away with the OEM arm, but you're gonna have a real hard time getting the alignment to be right. And if you're buying a nice set of shocks like this, you should get a nice upper control arm with it. Your tires are gonna last longer, your vehicle's gonna drive better. So the summary is a 2.5-inch lift, again, really high quality parts, 2 weight ranges, and you're gonna wanna get that upper control arm. Our rear shocks here are designed to support 0 to 1.5 inches of lift, which is plenty for the rear of these Tundras. We are working on springs that are gonna pair very well with these shocks in our different weight ranges, and they'll be out shortly. On the rear shocks, we are offering 3 weight ranges. The first one is for the non-hybrid. Then we've got another weight range for hybrid. And then finally, we have one for guys that have just added everything in the kitchen sink to the back of their trucks. And so this is just a really good design. We make sure that they work really well with the OEM spring if you don't want to buy our aftermarket springs. And then we've also provided a boot here that really keeps the dirt out, prevents rock chips on the shaft, and really increases the life expectancy of these shocks. These 2.5 adjustable shocks really are the top of line option. And as such, we wanted to make sure that they were tailored exactly for your vehicle instead of a one-size-fits-all approach. And that's why we've done the weight ranges. And what that means for you is that in the front, we've gone and put the correct coil spring on here for the weight of your vehicle. We've adjusted the preload so that your ride height's gonna be correct when you get them and install them. And then we've also gone inside and we've adjusted the main piston valving and the DPA valving, front and rear, to match the weight of your vehicle and the springs that you're gonna be using with them. And that really makes this a complete package that's gonna deliver the ride quality your Tundra deserves. These shocks are meant to be a complete package, and we designed them with your new Tundra in mind. And part of that is we wanted to make sure that all of our bracketry here was no drilling required. We didn't want to go poking holes in your brand new Tundra frame. And so everything here bolts on. It includes the reservoir brackets in the front. It includes sway bar spacers, which are required on some models. It includes skid plate spacers that are required on some models. And then moving to the rear, again, no drill mounts are included. And we include a brake line extension bracket so we get that last little bit of rear travel for you. So all in all, this is a complete kit that's made to go on and level the front of your Tundra and give you superior ride quality. Now, if you're interested in running larger tires, we will recommend aftermarket bump stops. You can see that our kit is made to fit 35s to 37s because they're adjustable height spacers. And we're also working on springs for the rear, which will match our different weight ranges. And finally, we're working on upper control arms, which will be available soon. In order to make sure that we're delivering the best quality product, we need to make sure that it gets installed correctly. So the first step of that is providing a full color install guide that goes step by step on how you install these. Next up, we have a setup guide. Now this is primarily for the guys who've added weight, but it covers how to make preload adjustments so that you're getting the correct ride height and the amount of up travel and down travel so the shocks are working correctly. Next up, we offer fantastic customer service. If you've got questions, please reach out. You can call our sales line or send us an email. We also offer a 3-year, 50,000-mile warranty, and that makes sure these shocks are gonna keep working for you for the long term. If you've got a problem, reach out, we'll take care of you. We really wanna make sure that you enjoy your ride shocks.